All right, everybody. It is 4 o'clock, and we're going to be pretty serious tonight. But let's remember, even as we talk about some very significant threats that we face, we have to have faith. Faith that we will get through this, and we will get through it together. And today, I think I need to say it, maybe more than anybody else. So we will get through this. We will get through this together. What we are seeing across the country is alarming. We are seeing state after state not just facing escalating cases, but facing devastation. As of today, Florida's hospitals have run out of ICU beds. They are now having to scramble to try to change beds over. This is when people die because the system is overwhelmed. This isn't March, this isn't April. This thing spreads fast enough to where if you're not doing the right things, you don't have the rules in place, they open too early, didn't have the right rules in place, people are going to die that would not have otherwise died. Look at it, it happens. And it's happening now, even at a time when we have the ability to test more, and we've had the ability to prepare. They're not the only ones. Can you go to the next one? Arizona and Texas. Arizona just 1.5 times bigger than Kentucky, and some said, wait, it's hot out there. This virus probably won't spread there. They're bringing in refrigerator trucks because they don't have room in their morgues. That means people are dying so fast that there is not room for them. Arizona yesterday had 90-plus deaths. They're 1.5 times larger than Kentucky. That ought to convince everybody of the seriousness of the situation we face and what a critical moment right now is. There's nothing that means that we can't end up like any of those states if we don't do the right thing. But like Kentucky, many states are following suit, and now you are seeing more and more face covering requirements, this time in Alabama. So Governor Ivey and I are of different parties. We probably disagree on a lot of ideology. But you know what? We have made the same exact decision because this is not political. She's issuing the order similarly to how we did, but knowing that they are also seeing an escalation much worse than ours at the moment, but it is time to stop it. And I believe she's also stood up and said, we cannot let her state, Alabama, become what other states have become. But today in Kentucky, we face possibly the gravest threat that I've seen since we started this. So since we started this, we saw a virus that was at one point doubling far too fast in cases. We saw a curve that could have overwhelmed our healthcare system, but at all times, we knew generally what it would take to stop this virus: social distancing, now facial coverings. And we were aggressive and were able to put the types of rules in place that flattened our curve. Imagine if we had not done Healthy at Home, where we would be right now. We had to shut everything down to make sure this thing didn't overwhelm us like Florida before. And it can happen to us again. But today, the Attorney General asked a court in Boone County, which is having an all-day hearing and even taking testimony on things like unemployment, which weren't at issue in the case. But he is asking for every single order that we have put in place to protect people, every single one, to be overturned, and to not allow my office or me to put any orders in the future that would help protect you and everyone else. If we have to later, no ban on travel in the places that are so scary, no rolling back different areas that might be spreading it. It's truly frightening, and I know that this Attorney General is claiming that's not what he's trying to do. But these are the words that he's asked the court to put into an order. Temporarily enjoined, which means we can't, from issuing or enforcing any portions of any executive order. No rules. Companies wouldn't even have to sanitize or use hand sanitizer. No masks, just the Wild West. That's terrifying. In the middle of a worldwide health pandemic. And it would mean we would fail, and it means people would die. I never thought as a day-to-day as governor I would have to deal with issues of life and death, and I've felt every death that we have had in this virus. And one of the things that keeps me going is I know we would have so many more. I'm sure when I look back, I've made mistakes. I keep thinking of Washington's farewell address, where in his second to last point he made, he admitted surely he made some mistakes. But I've done everything I can to protect the people of Kentucky. I lie awake at night almost every night, wondering how many people we're going to lose and whether we're going to go the same way as other states. This would remove the authority that virtually every other governor is using to battle this virus, and it would result in a spike. There's no question, if there's no rules, you don't have to socially distance, you don't have to sanitize your hands, the virus spreads. We all know that. It's basic scientific fact. So if we see more cases, Goldman Sachs says we'll lose $10 billion in our economy, and that's just from not wearing masks. Why don't you plow everything else on top of that? I don't see how we get our kids back in schools if they're going to go home or out afterwards, and there are absolutely zero rules that keep the virus from spreading. And we lose more people. No school, harmed economy, and more death. After being Attorney General and being involved with the governor in some disputes, it's something I never wanted. I don't want to go back and forth with my own AG, but I will fight every day for the lives of Kentuckians. And even if it creates drama that I don't want, even if it takes away time, and it does, I had half my office out today because of it, I'm going to do what it takes to protect the people of Kentucky. But folks, this is wrong. It is really, really wrong. Don't play politics with the lives of people. Don't play politics with the lives of people. The request that's made wants to eliminate every single ability to enforce any of the healthy at work requirements, any of them. No capacity limits anywhere. Fill up a stadium, full bar all the way out, people out in the streets. We know how deadly that can be, and it's just plain irresponsible. But I want you to know that what this would do more than just destroy our economy, cost lives, and keep kids from being back in schools. The orders that are included here also include expanding workers' compensation eligibility for workers that have to quarantine as a result of exposure. That means our first responders, our active military, our grocery store workers wouldn't get workers' comp when they come down with the virus that they got for protecting us. It'd leave them out in the cold. It would also eliminate my waiver of copay, deductibles, and cost sharing and diagnostic testing fees for private insurance. It would charge people for taking these tests. That's pretty important. And those are the facts, and that's the truth. And we face all of this at a time when our cases continue to be high. We have another day where we're over 400 cases. Today, we're reporting 413 new cases of COVID-19, bringing our total number to 21,083. But you know how quickly this can get out of hand? Florida had 77,000 cases in 7 days. It can be that bad. Our 21,083, which includes the 413 new cases today, are out of a total number of tests of 507,197. We worked hard to get there, but people out there know now is a time to be worried, and they want to get tested, and we're going to work on expanding our testing even more. We currently have 418 Kentuckians in the hospital. Those healthcare workers that are trying to take care of them don't want to leave the hospital to a world where no one has to follow the rules and restrictions needed to keep them safe. It puts every single one of those workers in jeopardy. To our healthcare workers, I appreciate you. I'm going to fight for you. I'm going to try to make sure that the Commonwealth that you leave that hospital and participate in is as safe as it can be for you, because we appreciate you. We currently have 92 Kentuckians in the ICU fighting for their lives. Our current positivity rate is 4.38%. That's up about 2% from about 3 weeks ago. And once it starts getting to 5%, it's of real concern. Moreover, we are seeing more kids test positive, it seems, each and every day. I got a call from the CEO of Norton. They have more pediatric patients right now than they have ever had during this virus. I believe 2 are in the ICU, so let's please think about those kids. And today, we may have a record number of kids under 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 kids under 5. One of them's 2 months old. 2 of them are 2 months old. So, these kids are counting on us too to do the right thing. They're all over in Jefferson, in Graves, in Boone, in Washington, in Muhlenberg, in Ohio County, in Jessamine, and Marion. Our new cases come from all types of counties, 69 in Jefferson, but look at Ohio, had an early outbreak. It was originally at meat processing plants. It's got 25 new cases today. Boone County has 22, Warren County has another 20. Thank you to that county judge executive for doing the right thing and supporting these orders. Kenton 17, Grays 15, Fayette 12, Muhlenberg 12, Bell another 11, Casey 11, Madison 11, and so many more. Today we have 5 new deaths. Brings our total number of deaths to 650, but remember, deaths follow cases. And if we put up record number of cases, while our hospitals are working really hard, the numbers will tell you that we will see more death. And if we have fewer appropriate restrictions based on science in place and it spreads even more, you know what to expect from that. You know, we're here in the rotunda. I remember we put a wreath up, I think, when we lost the first 200 people, and I'm looking at it right now. How many more of those will we have to hang? People that have passed away today include a 92 and an 83-year-old from Jefferson County, a 90-year-old from Knox County, a 91-year-old from Fayette County. But to people who are going to say, this just happens to 90-year-olds, a 59-year-old man from Knox County. 59. It continues to prey on our long-term care facilities. Again, the Attorney General's motion would eliminate virtually all of our necessary protections that protect individuals in these facilities. 51 residents, new residents have tested positive, 47 new staff, 3 new deaths attributable, 7 new Kentucky facilities, 224 now report at least 1 case of the virus. Our statistics on ethnicity and race are and will be online. It's reported every single day. Again, we see disproportionate deaths, especially in our Black and African American population, and we see a significant number of cases in our Hispanic population as well. We're going to work with both, and I know especially in our major urban areas, there's hard work being done to do that. All right, that's the tough news. Can I give you the hopeful news? I got to do a video yesterday for Dorothy Krause. Here's Dorothy. Yesterday I got to wish her a happy 100th birthday. Turning 100 in normal circumstances is cause for a real celebration. But I'm sharing Dorothy's story today because she also beat COVID-19. She resides at the Forum at Brookside in Louisville, where she said they took great care of her, helping her recover. Friends and family say Dorothy is a pillar of patience. I could use a little bit of that, Dorothy. And positive thinking. I could use a little bit of that too. Something I think we can all admire. Happy birthday, Dorothy. It's special. Thank you for your fight. Thank you for giving us hope, and I hope that you have enjoyed these special days. How about some other good news? Today we're highlighting again the hard work of our local governments that we communicate with regularly, we work with because they're on the ground doing what it takes to beat this virus. But we know they're hurting. Like our government, our budgets and their budgets have been devastated, and so we set aside $300 million of CARES Act funding for local governments. Since last week, we've announced $21.4 million, and where that's gone today, we're approving $5.5 million to 22 local governments in eastern Kentucky. Those are in Bell County. Think about what they're going through right now. Every dollar I know is needed. Boyd County in Ashland, where they lost one of our early younger Kentuckians, a bricklayer, I believe, who was in Detroit, whose story we shared. Elliott County, Fleming, Lee, McCreary, Montgomery, Pike, Rowan, Whitley, and then municipalities of Boonville, Cole, Run, Hazard, Fleming, Neon, Flemingsburg, Lynch, Middlesboro, Mount Sterling, Owingsville, Pikeville, Prestonsburg, and Stanton. Funding can be used to reimburse payroll expenses for public safety, PPE, cleaning supplies, all those things that we've asked government to do in our rules and restrictions. So there are more applications that are in, and we ought to have more announcements soon. Let me just say, this isn't money given, this is money earned. Our localities are doing a great job. Thank you for your work. We need you now more than ever. This is the crunch time. This is the time when we determine how many people we lose. This is the time where we make sure everybody's wearing a mask so we can try to have our old normal, save our people, save our economy, save the possibility of school. All right, a little update on unemployment specifically, the great work being done by EY, Ernst & Young. As you all know, unemployment has been difficult. It's been mostly difficult for those that have filed and had trouble getting it. It's been difficult for the state because we had a starved system. We had a computer system that is 20 years old. We had a loss of 95 employees 2 years ago and a loss of lots of regional offices and a budget cut in half. And then we had the most claims ever filed, by a lot, in a very short period of time. But our job is to fix it. And one of the things we did is hired Ernst & Young. They've already added 300 additional people to help us. To date, they've processed 10,635 claims, and they're getting up to speed, right? There's a learning curve. They're getting through the system. They're now getting more and more efficient. They've increased their hours from 8 to 10 a day. That's going to increase the numbers as they go. They've added Saturdays, and we expect a pace going forwards of about 4,000 claims per day. To give you an idea what those 4,000 claims per day mean, I think we have about, and I believe that there are a lot of duplicates in here. The number of claims that are out there, the numbers are tough because many people file a couple times. And then we have claims that appear in a month that are actually filed maybe even 2 months later, but it's what date they list on it. So we have 5,060 remaining claims that were filed in March. 4,000 can get you caught up pretty fast, but we need you to answer the phone. James, can you put up the number that you'll see on your phone? I think we're still getting about a 50% answer rate. If we can get a 100% answer rate, we can help a lot of people. I think for April, you think about how much we continue to need this help. We got about 24,000 claims that were filed in April. Now, in both of those months, we have over 1,000 claims that were filed later, but the date goes back for when they are claiming their unemployment. So make sure you answer this line. We're getting a lot more of these claims processed than ever before. We have a long way to go, but if you think about 4,000 claims a day, and that's not even including some of our folks. You can catch up really, really fast, which is what we want to do. Next 2 weeks, we want to process a heck of a lot of claims. We want to help as many of you out. Please answer the phone. I left anything out? All right. That was 20 intense minutes for me. I know that there are a lot of questions out there. We have a number of people that are here with us today and some that have been submitted. I'm going to start with one submitted question. I think we've talked about it before, but it's about testing sites through Jefferson County and how are they operating relative to their capacities. We are at capacity in just about every testing site in Jefferson County, at least that the state has a role in. And it's hard to think of that as a good thing, because if you can't get a test right now, you really want one. But it means people have woken up. They know how serious of a situation we're in, because there was a period of time when we weren't filling all of them. So we are working to expand capacity right now, providing more kits, which we will from the state, to our major localities to make sure that we can get more people in and tested. So we are working on it, and we expect to see results. The question is, has there been a reduction in testing sites statewide? The answer is no. We have one fewer Kroger site right now, but remember when we had the last one in Western Kentucky, it was way under capacity. What we are seeing is specific locations with significant capacity. Average wait time is picking up. Part of that is we're in the summer and we have some summer hours. But Kroger, thankfully, has added extra hours on, and they're really picking it up. And let me tell you, they're still doing it on their end for free. This is an incredible service by a great corporate citizen, and their people, it's been so hot, have passed out at these sites. And they're still getting up and going to help protect us. That's pretty special. And they deserve better than a state that wouldn't have any rules or restrictions or regulations. So let's make sure we fight for them too. Thank you to all the Kroger workers that are doing this, but also thank you to everybody that's doing the testing. We have Walmart still and Walgreens and a whole bunch of others. Thank you, and keep going. Keep going. I know you saw some capacity that suggested that not as many people are going to come. They want to come now, and we need your continued help. It benefits all of us. All right, Karen. Yes, the question's on the mask mandate. It is in effect. It's in effect both through an executive order and an emergency regulation. We have had no ruling to negate it. It is fully in effect, and we need you to wear it. Every major health expert has said that if you will wear a mask, fewer people will die, we can keep our economy open, we might be able to get back to school sooner rather than later, and heck, we might even have sports. You don't wear these, we don't have any rules or restrictions, and we can kiss almost all of that goodbye. All right, who's next? Morgan? The question is what I'm seeing on compliance with the mask mandate. I'm actually seeing really good compliance. I'm seeing some situations where folks in retail end up taking grief that they shouldn't have to. Surely we're better human beings than to walk into a store and yell at somebody who didn't put the order in place. To take out probably our fear and anxiety of COVID on somebody. And listen, it's not up to the person in the retail store to decide our constitutional rights. Be kind to them. You want to yell at me? Go ahead. That comes with the territory. I'm still going to do what's right. But let's be kind to each other. But I'm seeing very good compliance overall. Now, what's going to jump out are the places that there hasn't been compliance. That's how this works. And we have the number, the KY Safer number that is up. But let's remember this is real simple. How we defeat COVID right now is no shoes, no shirt, no mask, no service. Let me tell you, that'll go a long way. And if you look at major retailers and what they were doing, they're following our lead. Kroger now, nationwide, you got to wear a mask. Walmart now, nationwide, you got to wear a mask. I think Starbucks now, nationwide, you got to wear a mask. And everybody else should do it too, but you got to do it in Kentucky. We're doing it because we care about each other's lives. Would you like? Nope. Back? All right, Morgan, go again. And then Karen will come back. So the question is, there's an expectation, or at least there's been, I think, commentary by some board members and others about JCPS not starting back, at least initially, with in-person classes. First, we got to see overall in this state what the next couple weeks look like. Very important to seeing if we can get back in school, and I believe the numbers of us that wear a mask, social distance, will determine what we can do. Jefferson County, given its size, poses even more challenges than just about any other district. Very hard to spread out in the bus because of the deferred maintenance and the age of their buildings. Very hard to spread kids out in the classroom. They face some real significant challenges. And I want to make sure that anywhere that we are able to come back to in-person classes, our teachers and administrators, everybody in that building, including the kids, but a lot of people just want to talk about the kids, that we are seeing so many more cases in kids right now. And they want to say, well, you know, rarely do kids suffer great harm. Every single one of those kids is coming into contact with an adult. We should want to make sure those adults don't come to any harm. So it appears to me that JCPS is being thoughtful. We all want to get our kids back in school. Lord, do I want to get my kids back in school. But we've got to make sure it's safe, and I look forward to continuing to hear the conversations at JCPS. And when a district makes a decision based on safety, you can bet we're going to support them. Okay. We've been posting the UI hotline number, and on Tuesday and some yesterday, listeners said they're still getting robocalls, like they've been getting weeks before. Is that starting to transition now where they will start getting live calls? We're having live calls every day. I believe I can even tell you we had thousands of calls made today. And so they're getting a robo answer. Okay, so folks may still be getting a robo answer because we got everybody processing claims. And that's one of the challenges. Right, we want to move back to regional offices. But right now, if I moved us back to regional offices with everything that would take, we would have a week without people processing claims to make that happen. We're in the middle of the crisis, and sometimes we can't stop to do some things that we want to. So we've got everybody actively making the calls right now. So if you call in, I'd love it if it means somebody picks up every time. But what you need to make sure you do is answer the call when you see this number. Okay, they should be getting live calls here soon. And I know we made, I'm looking for the number for you, but it was thousands of them just today. Let me say this: I'm not satisfied in the least with our performance to date on unemployment, but that's not the fault of the employees. They're working really, really hard, and I need to commend them for their effort. Let's see, we handled 6,104 calls on the 15th. Keep going. Let me get you the details. I believe that there have been some steps taken by local health departments in various areas of the state. Now, the first time, I think they're all trying to do warning and education, and that's okay. But we don't have time in this battle to have multiple strikes. It's good if somebody is not doing it to say that you have to, but then we got to make sure that everybody's doing their part. and it's good for the business. Having people safe, having people not get infected in your business, and having the ability to have even more people out. The more people who are wearing masks, the fewer people who are infected, the more people that can shop or do business at your facility. It's good business right now to make sure this is working. All right, last one. How close are we to having a travel ban? Well, I'm having to deal with a couple of court cases right now, which would make that quite difficult, but I'm watching especially those big states very carefully. And so let me say, we shouldn't have to say you can't go to a state that has 15,000 cases a day, including hotspots in the places you go. We all ought to care and love each other enough to say, I'm not putting myself, my family in that situation, then I'm not bringing it back, taking it to work, sending my kid to a daycare, and going to church after we have exposed ourselves in that way. Let's be better than that. All right, folks, so today, I'm sorry that we face the threat we do. I cannot imagine how we defeat this virus if we're not able to have reasonable rules and restrictions in place that help everybody, our people, our businesses, our economy, our schools. And I'm going to keep fighting. No matter what rulings come out, I'm going to keep fighting, because at the end of the day, I feel the weight of life and death. I don't care what any score is on any decisions. What I care is about how many people we've saved, about doing the right thing. Now, I came into this job with so many other things we were thinking about doing, and now I'm the guy that's got to help us get through this. This is our war. This is our great conflict, and you can't take all of our ammunition away and say good luck with the enemy. It doesn't work that way. We know what it takes to win. We need the tools to do it. Let's get it done. Let's make sure we care more about our people than the letter behind our name. Thank you all very much. And happy birthday again, Dorothy.